I heard my in-laws talking about getting my wife back together with her ex. What should I do? This is OKOP, home of the craziest true stories on earth. I'm Sophia and Riley. What do when your in-laws are working against you?
I just think they're jealous of how much money her ex was making and how little money you're making. And you just need to get your money up, man.
This is a lot of, you're basing this off of very little information, but
well, I think you just need to chase the bag. And if you had enough money, you would not be in this scenario. Think about it.
Wise words from Riley. Palme Queso says, I'm sorry if I write something incorrectly. English is not my first language, and I'm pretty horrible at it. That's okay. I don't know any other languages. I, 35 male, have been with Abby, 35 female, for 13 years now. Every day that goes by, I love her more and more, and we're even expecting our first baby. For the holidays, we always stay 2 to 3 months visiting my wife's family. But the problem is that this year, all the family was really excited, saying that Alan is coming. In all the years in the family, I've never heard of an Alan, and my wife didn't even care about it, so I thought it was just some cousin. But the famous Alan was my wife's ex and first love. They invited the ex to, that's so strange.
It's crazy. I mean,
is the family like still hanging out with Alan on the down low? On the DL?
Probably low key.
The man lives in Europe, but Abby's family still has contact with him and even invited the man to the house. Now he's in the country. I tried to get along with Alan, but the man just ignores me and takes every chance to get closer with my wife, making jokes or talking about the past. Ooh, that's bad. I didn't take it too personally because I didn't want to look jealous, but lately he has been coming every day to visit the family, and Abby's family started comparing his accomplishments to mine. That's what Riley said.
Did I not call that?
You did call that. You did call that. They're all big fans of Alan, and I honestly feel jealous of that because they're treating him better than me. That's messed up.
I have an okay story time.
Ooh, okay story time. We'll get back to that. 2 days ago, I heard my mother-in-law and brother-in-law talking about how nice it would have been for Abby to stay with Alan because he's a smart man. What hurt me most was hearing my brother-in-law say that he can try to get Alan and Abby back together. And my mother-in-law just laughed, saying that it would be good to go on a trip to Europe every year and not to the countryside with the peasants. Talking about me because I live in a farm with my wife just because she's always dreamed to live in that kind of quiet environment.
No!
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh!
You're talking about your wife's, like your son-in-law, and you're like, yeah, that peasant who lives on a farm. Maybe she just wants to be a farm. Like maybe the wife just wants to be a farm girl.
Yeah, that's like that.
That's
sounds
one of my
like
dreams.
what her dream
I want to
is.
live on a sheep farm in Scotland.
Wow.
That's my dream.
What's your first sheep's name gonna be?
Peasant. Number 1.
Just gonna number them.
They're all peasant. In fact, now that I'm no longer blindfolded, I started noticing how my brother-in-law makes too many comments to my wife about how great Alan is. Although Abby never says kind things about Alan, and I think she even treats him like he's a child. I don't feel comfortable being here knowing that they see me as a dumb peasant, and it's horrible to see how they try to include Alan in the family when they still treat me like I'm just a casual boyfriend of Abby's. But my wife only sees her family these months, just the 2 to 3 months of the year, and I don't want to ruin that or put that kind of stress on her since she's pregnant.
She's also pregnant?
She's pregnant, and the family's like, oh yeah, break up with your husband who's you're having a child with and get back with Alan? That's messed up. This is what are they doing? I feel like I'm in some kind of rom-com, but I'm in the role of the bad husband that the protagonist leaves for the handsome CEO. Haha. Yeah, this is not a good rom-com though.
But low key, you're in the good hands because you're like the underdog. And you've already given everything she's wanted.
Yeah,
I see. Everyone's
rooting against you, but you know what? She wanted to live on a farm. You made that happen. She presumably wanted a child. You made that happen.
You made that happen.
You're making things happen, buddy.
She looks at the other guy as a child.
Yeah.
Sees you as a man.
Yeah, exactly. Alan is a passing fling. You are for life, baby.
He's a little fly. You're the
shark to the fly. There are some relevant comments. Sunshine Bear 100 says, and what does your wife say? OP says, my wife just ignores Alan, and when my brother-in-law says those things, Abby just says, if you like Alan that much, then F him. I was hoping that she would say that.
Like that? Exactly?
Yes, that exactly. Because if someone was like, oh, this guy's so cool. He's amazing. You're like, oh my goodness, you should date him. I'd be like, you like him. Go date him. And the conversation ends. When I found out it's her ex, she said, yes. I dated him for 2 months when I finished high school. 2 months? 2 months? And the family was like, yes, Alan, we must keep him with us. That's crazy. This
He's probably got
crazy.
like a big yacht and he's like, hey, make this happen.
Yeah.
And we'll all go on the yacht.
If you give me the girl, and I'll bring you on my yacht.
Yeah. What does he bring to the table? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, Alan or
Alan.
OP? Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I don't know. They really like him. And she made a disgusted face. I couldn't ask more because she's been really tired with the pregnancy and I don't want to stress her more.
Aww.
Vegetable Cod 2340 says, I'm sorry, they're this pressed for a guy she dated for 2 months over a decade ago. So true, so true. OP, was Alan a family friend or something? It just feels weird that they like him this much, having known you for 13 years. Have they always disliked you? OP says, from what I heard, he lived in the same neighborhood, but they were never close until Abby started dating him. When he moved to Europe, the family still had contact with him through Facebook and WhatsApp, and even some members of the family stay in his house when they go on trips to Europe. So it seems that the aunts and cousins are really close with him. That's so strange. They're staying with him.
Ooh.
They always make jokes about our farm life, and I know my mother-in-law hates that Abby has gone to live so far away from them. She always hides her dislike for me, although I can feel the cold treatment she always gives me. My brother-in-law always makes it obvious that they didn't like me for taking their older sister away. The rest of the family treats me well or just normal, but Alan is really charismatic, and they're all really extroverted people, and I'm more on the quiet side, so I think it's easier for them to like him more. There is an update, but before we get into the update, you're making a face of displeasure.
I got a lot of problems here.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand why they're like this taking the side of
OP.
Yeah.
OP,
also
okay.
Their daughter who broke up with, this is a high school relationship that lasted 2 months.
And then he just left Europe to make millions of dollars, it seems.
Yeah, which is also, I think, even stranger because I feel like it might be a little bit more normal if, they were living in the same neighborhood and that contact was still there, but he moved away. And they were like, you know what? We're going to keep this. This is the relationship that matters.
It is weird. The thing that also bothers me is that they're extroverts.
Yeah.
And they don't usually extroverts love introverts. And they're like, you know what? We're going to make this great relationships.
Bond.
If you're a good introvert or if you're a good extrovert, introverts should be the people you strive to be with because you're trying to crack open that little nut they are and be like, okay, what's in here? And then find their personality. That's what I like to do. And that's just horrible that I get extroverts being with extroverts, but extroverts are supposed to be welcoming. That's why I've always seen Sam's super welcoming. I'm welcoming.
Your job as an extrovert is to be welcoming.
Oh, what's up? What's up with that, family?
Abby's family is feeling.
I don't like this. What do you think about this?
I think once your partner is married, that's you have to see that as this is a forever thing. And you gotta I don't know, unless they're being abusive, you gotta support that relationship.
Yeah, stop brother-in-law.
Yeah,
it's already said and done.
If OP and or if Abby is happy, you gotta let go of the past.
I'm really interested in seeing what the wife thinks.
Yeah, well, let's see if we find out more in the update. Oh my God. OP says, I found out my wife was cheating on me with Alan. And then says, nah, just kidding. You can play back and see my reaction. I was like, but no, OP's a little trickster, a little sneaky.
He knows how these stories go.
Trickster. Yeah. OP continues. Thanks for all the advice I received. Many of them were very helpful and some were very weird, like record conversations with my mother-in-law or have my wife choose between her family or me. Maybe it's something cultural, but I would never give an ultimatum like that because to me, it's a really low blow to do. Her family is very important. No, not Alan. OP, you're a very good guy. You're very nice. After making the post and reading the comments, I decided to talk with Abby about what I heard. We were in our room and I talked about what her mother and brother said as calmly as possible. But the moment I finished telling everything, Abby just kissed my forehead and ran with her pregnant belly out of the bedroom to literally yell at everyone in the living room. No one spoke beside an aunt who tried to justify them by saying that they were just making jokes, to which I replied that they were uncomfortable and disgusting jokes. At some point, Abby told her mother something like, whether you like it or not, I'm married to this man, I'm going to have this baby with him, and many more, so shut up and bear with it. Then my wife yelled at her brothers and went with them to talk in private. Yes, I love Abby. She really stands her ground. She knows what she wants, and she gets it. She's got her farm, and she doesn't need Alan.
She wants her babies, and she's gonna get them.
She's got to get them.
One on the way.
Yeah, and she's gonna have many more, as she said. My brother-in-laws talked with me and admitted that they were only doing that because they believed I was forcing Abby to marry and live on a farm far away from the family, when it was actually Abby's idea to get married in private and live in the farm. All these years, it's just been a misunderstanding. The three brothers apologized to me and were really embarrassed about their behavior, saying that they only invited Alan to mess with me.
Whoa.
So do they even like Alan? Or did they just not like OP?
They probably don't.
They're like, Alan's fine, but we hate OP.
That's so messed up. It sounded like they just needed to talk.
Yeah, they just weren't having a conversation.
Imagine if they just had bros night.
Yeah.
All this would have just gotten fixed.
Yeah. Invite them to come on the farm. Maybe what needs to happen is Alan. I mean, no, not Alan. Get Alan out of here. OP and Abby need to invite the family over to their farm, have a little weekend fun, say you can't bring Alan. And I don't know, like, see how that goes. Yeah, talk it out.
I love the part where Abby just like kissed his forehead.
Yeah, she's like, come here. And then she ran out with her
and then
pregnant
chaos.
baby. She's like, ah! I love it. Love it. Abby seems cool.
Very classy.
Snaps to you, Abby.
John, red flag or green flag? He walks on the roadside of the road.
That's an absolute green flag, because sometimes you're taking a morning walk and you want to have the sunshine, and the sunshine is on the roadside. I do that all the time. Can I be honest with you?
Do you know the real reason for that, actually?
What?
When you're with like a young lady, you're supposed to walk on the roadside. So if a car goes onto the sidewalk, you get hit first and you are protecting her.
We got to protect our women.
We got to protect them. And you know what else we got to protect?
What is that?
Our new red flag, green flag drop at okop.show/shop.
That's right. You could get one of 50 hats, hoodies, or overalls that are part of this drop that ends February 9th.
And we'll pick one lucky person who supports the drop to be featured on the show and get interviewed.
So y'all, show your love, show your support for your boys. Head on over to okop.show/shop and grab an item before we run out or before February 9th.
After that, most of the family members apologized to us. Abby told everyone that she doesn't want to see Alan in the house anymore while we're here. She's not going to forbid them to talk with him, but doesn't want to see him near her because it's uncomfortable. Mother-in-law tried to complain, but Abby just said, "Shut up, Mom," and left the living room with me. Abby is not taking anything from anyone.
She has every right to.
Yeah.
Like when you're I don't know how pregnant she is, but
yeah, true. She's pregnant, and you can get angry when you're pregnant or like moody.
Yeah.
And if people are stirring up trouble, I'd be like, I'm pregnant.
You have even more right to stand on business.
Absolutely.
Get after it.
Yeah. Like these are things that would make me moody and angry normally. In the bedroom, Abby confessed to me that she also felt uncomfortable, but since Alan is a friend of the family, she preferred not to say anything other than throw passive-aggressive comments at him. I'm wondering how, if they were actually passive-aggressive or if she was like, "You're a child. Get out.
You smell bad.
You suck." After New Year's, we were all eating and Alan stroked her belly without asking. Ew. To which my wife said, "Do it again and I'll bite you." So he never did that again. See, that's not passive aggressive. It's deserved. Because I feel like there's this weird thing where when people are pregnant, everyone thinks that they just have a right to go and touch their belly without asking. But imagine if you weren't pregnant and someone was just like, let me rub your stomach. That would be really weird.
Or they touch your butt.
Yeah, that would be really weird and not okay. Ask permission.
I have a story time about that.
Oh, two story times.
Yeah.
Abby even said that she actually talked with Alan and told him that she dislikes being touched by other people. Shocker. But Alan said she was overreacting and left her alone. I feel really stupid for not noticing how uncomfortable my wife also was feeling, because after that is when she stayed most of the times in the bedroom when Alan was in the house with the excuse that she was tired because of the pregnancy. So not only is Alan trying to actively home wreck, but he's also being really weird and gross and touching this woman without her consent. He sucks. He should not be in this house.
Ooh.
The family should not be friends with Alan. Just out of curiosity, I asked her why she broke up with Alan if he's such a cool man, because I'll admit it, he's really charismatic. And Abby told me that he's always treated her like he knew everything and explained things that she already knew every time they talked. He's mansplaining to her, which is what he just did when she was like, "You don't touch me." And he was like, "No, you're overreacting." Like, how are you going to tell this woman how she feels? Abby never felt the need to talk about that relationship because it wasn't relevant, and she sees me as her first love and not Alan. I apologized to Abby for not noticing how uncomfortable she was and only looking at my own feelings without talking about it as a couple. And Abby also apologized for the same. We promised to communicate this kind of thing to each other no matter what. Yesterday, we went on a date together, and when we came back, my mother-in-law looked very unfriendly, but she apologized to my wife, to which Abby said she should apologize to me. Mother-in-law and I talked for a while alone, and although I'm still upset, we promised to at least be civil with each other for Abby and the baby. We just, that's good. The Jesus.
Like, we hate each other, but
Yeah.
we're here for.
I'm just
dog.
imagining that conversation. They're like, okay, we both hate each other. We both really don't like each other, but we have to push through that.
I couldn't imagine ever doing that with someone.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like your partner's mother. I mean, like, good that they talked, but that's crazy.
It'd be tough.
We decided next time to stay in one of the hotel rooms while we're here. Even if it's a 3-hour drive, it would be better for us to be comfortable. 3 months in my in-laws' house was always really tiring, so it's something we should have done earlier.
Oh,
The hotel is a 3-hour drive?
they're just saying if that's what it takes.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather drive 3 hours than stay with your in-laws. They really don't like each other. I get it. They're not nice. For now, Alan is no longer in the picture because yesterday I got his number to send a message clarifying why he can't come back and why I don't want him near my wife. This man just blocked me without answering. I guess he understood, but if he didn't, I don't have any problem talking face to face about it.
Nice.
Yes, I love that. There's also some added stuff. I showed Abby the Reddit post and she didn't have any problem with me asking for any advice. I'm even posting this now with her hugging my arm. I love this woman a lot. They're so cute. I love this. They're living on their farm. They're living their best life without meddling in-laws.
Honestly, would love to hang out with them.
Yeah, they seem cool.
Yeah, Abby seems like the feisty, witty
Yeah.
type, and then Alan, or not Alan.
Abby's
God.
5'2".
And then yeah, honestly, and then OP's just sort of like the
Yeah, OP
He's just
like
sitting
has
there, like-
glasses and he's like, but when he needs to tussle, we'll
he's
tussle.
there.
There's some background on this on Alan as well. Alan came back to the country because he divorced his wife and is flirting with any woman. So he thought it was a great idea to try and flirt with my pregnant wife.
Dude, that's like the
Bad
last
idea.
woman you need
That's
to
yeah,
flirt
that's
with.
the last woman you flirt with. Don't flirt with your high school 2-month relationship girlfriend.
Is now married with
Yeah,
child.
With child. She's with child.
Living
There-
on her farm. Come
living on her farm. There are some relevant comments. Dr. Kitty Lova says, "Yay for your wife. I appreciate her so much for listening to you, supporting you, and not delaying a single moment in setting her family straight." That's such a good point. He told her and she was like, and then she went straight to go yell at her family. I love that. She sounds amazing, as does your marriage and connection. And I'm so happy this situation seems to have only made you stronger as a couple and maybe as individuals too. So true. And one more thing, I'm very vocal about one having autonomy and full control over who touches them and when, including is pregnant woman and the tendency for people to help themselves to a tummy touch without permission from the mama. It enrages me that people feel entitled to the body of another person in any way like that. Reading that Alan touched Abby's belly made my blood boil, but I absolutely love her response that she will bite him if he does it again. She's feisty and that will continue to serve her well in her life and the life of her child. I love that. So true. OP says same. Abby also hates when people touch her belly without asking. Even old ladies we don't know do that, and it's really uncomfortable for her. Abby always asks people not to do that, but most of them get offended by that. There are many people who do not respect the personal space of pregnant women with the excuse of caressing the baby. It's really annoying. That is a great point to leave off on. That's the end of the story.
Wow.
I think everyone did I think Abby and OP really did handle this well.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
killed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not take anything from anyone. They were like, the second that it got too much, they were like, hey, let's
Here's the boundaries.
sidebar. Yeah. Here to OP's family or Abby's family, they were like, boundaries, you have not been following them. We're laying down the law and then they had their sidebar, and then they came out
Swinging.
swinging. Yeah.
And they will bite whoever.
They will bite anyone and everyone.
It's kind of cute. My aunt bites my uncle sometimes whenever he annoys her.
It's funny.
She'll just like get a good chomp. And he's like, ah.
But you said you had
I got two. Yes.
story times.
So I have a friend. I think I can imagine a couple 10 years from now who this is, but sadly I would be Alan in this scenario. But I'm choosing right now not to be Alan.
Yikes.
Because
you got a real life.
I love them.
Alan.
But I have a friend that I went to high school with. We're pretty close. And she has like a boyfriend from Australia. He's like 6'4". He's like kind of awkward.
Uh-huh.
Like whenever I talk to him, like I'm very charismatic, I would say. And he's like kind of like a little shy, but like her family does not like him.
Why? Because he's Australian.
There's just like cultural beliefs and differences. She told her parents that I was in town, and they seemed more excited about it that I was in town, that she was going to come see me rather than her boyfriend from Australia was there.
Oof.
And he told me that, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry. I hate that for you.
Yeah, that sucks.
But he's a really cool guy. But yeah, I was Alan in that scenario. And what was
Yeah.
the other one? Oh, being touched without consent.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
I was at, I would say a club maybe. I don't know. I was with John and
Sure.
Naima.
Uh-huh.
And Sam was supposed to be there, but he's on his like personal growth grind right now. So he wasn't
He's
there.
on that grind.
Yeah. So I was there, and I was like talking to some people, whatever, at the bungalow, just hanging out. And this chick that was, because I think we went there for someone that's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
The person that introduced Sam and John was there. And I gave my respects. I was like, thank you so much for introducing them, because without
my
you,
respects.
I would not be birthed.
Yeah.
And she made this. So I was there paying my respects with her and her friends. And one of her friends saw me, and she was like, hey, got a nice. And I was like, whoa. That's what went in my head. But I was like trying to be nice. I was like, thank you. Because like, this is the honest truth. I've been super insecure about my butt. Like, you know, like I've been working on it, been working out. Like it's gotten bigger. Thank you. She's like, yeah, it looks nice. She's giving me these eyes. And I'm like, thank you. So I'm over here dancing. And then out of nowhere, dude, she just like kind of like trying to be all slick and stuff about it. And I'm like, whoa. She
That's
just touched
so
my
not
butt.
okay.
And she just like kind of acted like, I was like, okay. And I just like walked away. And I was like,
I'm sorry. That's very not okay.
thank you. And now I'm like, now I know how that feels.
Yeah. No, it does not feel great.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I
No.
did it to John because I was explaining what happened. He was like, oh, wow. That's not cool. I'm like, I know, right?
No. Yeah. No, that's very bad.
Yeah.
No. When I was in Italy, we went to this club on Halloween in Rome, and like the Italian men, crazy. They would try and speak to me, and I don't speak Italian. And they would be saying something, and I'd be like, no. And then they would like multiple people did this, grab my arm like strong, and I'd be like, let me go. It was bad. Yeah.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself. That is like kindergarten rule number one.
what
Keep your
happened
hands
to
to
that?
yourself.
Why is no one following those rules?
Yeah. Go back to kindergarten if you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. And then here's the graduated step. If you don't want to keep your hands to yourself, ask them.
Ask them. Yeah. Yeah. The first step is keep your hands to yourself. Second step is get consent if you don't want to keep.
If you don't get either of those, you should not be touching anyone.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. But you know what we should be touching?
What's that, Sophia?
This next story. My parents invited their friends on a family vacation, and now I don't want to go. Am I the a-hole? And Riley, if your parents brought their friends on vacation, would you go?
As long as they bring my friends.
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my parents' friends are cool.
No, my parents' friends are very cool. I've been on vacation with some of them, and it's been so fun.
Are your parents' friends also your friends?
No, like the adults?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like.
But you're an adult, Sophia.
What? My parents' friends' children are my friends.
But not. So you can't go up to like your parents' friend and be like, Dan, what's good? How's it hanging?
No, I probably wouldn't say that to anyone though. Damn. But I've hung out with them solo because this is specifically for like my like mom's friends in Australia. Like I wouldn't say they're friends in the same way that my parents are friends with them, but you know, like I would say I'm very close to a lot of them because I grew up with them. So they're like somewhat family in a way.
I'm just saying, why can't they all be friends?
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? That's a song from the hit movie Bridge to Terabithia. So Relative Young 9037 says, this post will probably be long and I'll try not to ramble too much and hope that this post is easy to follow.
Ramble.
Ramble all you want. We're all about rambling. But I'm not sure how to handle the situation at hand, so I need advice. For context, my parents are swingers.
Oh,
friends. I see. Yeah, okay. This makes a little bit more sense.
Changes everything.
It does. Yeah. I found out about them being swingers right after I graduated high school in 2016.
Oh, that's a horrible time to figure that. Well,
like you're going into college. No, I feel like that's a better time. Like if I were in high school and I found out that, you know, parents were swingers, I think that would be worse.
Ever a good time to figure out that your parents are swingers.
Yeah.
Like give me a moment of time where like, hey, by the way, we're swingers, and I'd be okay with that.
I think it would have to happen at like you're a child and you're like, this is normal. Like this is just how my parents are. Or it has to happen much later in life, I think. I think those are the two options for me personally. Everyone has their own things. And this is not to say if you're a swinger, swing away.
Keep swinging that thing.
But, you know, as if you were a child of swingers, you know, how do you deal with it? If your parents are swingers, how
are you coping with that?
How did they tell you? How are you coping? I never really had an opinion on the matter until recently. I don't care what they do behind closed doors, but I personally don't want to see it in person. I'm sure that makes me sound like a bad person, but I've always accepted them for who they are. It's honestly just really weird to see my parents make out with other people when they're around a group of people.
Yeah, no, you have every right. I don't even want to see my parents making out with each other.
I was about to say that. I don't want to see my parents making out around other people. That's weird. Yeah. Keep that to yourself.
Please. Or with other people.
Yeah.
Or with each other.
Yeah. Anyways, they are in a relationship with another couple and have been with them for almost 2 years. They, being the other couple, just recently moved in with my parents because they lost their house and couldn't find another place in time.
Whoa.
That's a lot to deal with as like, well, depending on whether or not the OP lives with them at the time, that would be a lot to deal with. Like just having another couple in the house.
Seeing red flag.
Yeah, well, we'll see. My parents kicked my sister, her fiance, and their baby out of the basement in order to give their friends the space and put my sister, her fiance, and baby upstairs in one bedroom to share, which is a small 12 by 12 room. But for like context, I lived in a 9 by 12 room on my own, and that was still, you know, it wasn't small, but it's still like a fairly small room.
What's your room right now?
I think it's bigger than 12 by 12. And that's
really?
Yeah, and I have my own room. I can't imagine living with another person and a baby. Yeah, like I understand like you could have like roommate in that situation. Like my room is big enough for a roommate, but like a baby too.
Yeah,
you spread out. I mean, babies are small, but they grow.
Don't people like put babies in the closet? They just like
what?
Put them in the closet overnight.
What?
Yeah,
that's worrisome.
But like they like have a little bed and stuff.
Okay, so they put them in a bed.
It's just like really quiet in the closet.
Okay, that's different. I thought you were just saying they put them in a closet.
I used to put my brother in a drawer.
What? This is concerning.
Well, sorry. Okay, story time.
Context.
Okay, story time.
We're gonna get back to that because I'm worried. Okay, but the point is, 12 by 12 is not too small of a room, but it is small for 2 people and a baby. The friends have also stated that they're another set of grandparents for my niece and call themselves Grandma insert name and Papa insert name. Wait, give them names. Grandma
Carol.
Grandma Carol and Papa Girl. They're asking to be called the grandparents. That's strange. You're not the grandparents. Not only like to add insult to injury, they've stolen the room that the fiance, the sister and the baby were living in. And then they were like, but we're your grandparents. My sister and her fiance are not comfortable with this, but my parents and their friends don't seem to care because they're all together as one. Now on to the vacation. We were supposed to go on our first ever family vacation last year, but it ended up getting pushed back to April of this year due to costs because of my wedding, which everyone was fine with. It then got pushed back again because my sister was in her 3rd trimester of her pregnancy and couldn't fly. It is now scheduled for February of 2023. My parents told my sister and I, along with their SOs, that they would be bringing their friends along on the vacation. And I'm frustrated about it, to be honest. With the way that they've been handling things with my sister and with all of their PDA, it's made me not want to go anymore. It's our first ever family vacation, like I've already mentioned, and I wanted it to be just family. I'm at a loss, and I'm not sure how to handle this situation. And we don't want to upset my parents about how I and everyone else, my husband, sister, and brother-in-law feel any advice. Edit, I'm married and do not live at home anymore, although my sister, her fiance, and baby do. They're currently looking for places. We live in a state where cost of living is super high, like a lot of places right now. And with them only having one income, it's harder for them to find something. Hopefully that clears things up. There is another edit, but do you want to?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's talk about
let's
it.
chat. I think it's one, like, it's parents' prerogative to be in a relationship. Like, that's their own thing. But don't try and like push that relationship on your fully grown children.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if you grow up with this, family and like they're in your lives for a long time, but to try and like say, oh, but we're your grandparents now, or like we're your parents now. Like, you're not. You weren't there. Like, this is new. Like, this is a completely separate relationship from what you have going on with OP's parents than you do with OP and their sister. Like, don't try and force that.
Not cool, guys.
Not cool. And also, I feel like ask everyone before you invite them on the family vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring your like. Bring your. I'm trying to think of a way to say this.
Your partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna give them a very.
Grandma Carol and Papa Girl.
Yeah, don't bring Grandma Carol and Papa Groyle if that you don't want to call them that. Don't bring them. Like, leave them at home.
Leave them at home.
Leave them in the basement where they live.
Where they live.
And then go back.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like being the sister and the fiance with the baby and then hearing like all these sort of noises and things just coming.
That's horrible. I don't even want to think about that.
Just,
but it seems like they are very publicly affectionate.
Yeah.
So.
They don't live in LA though because they have a basement. You can't
That's
have a basement in
true
LA.
because earthquakes. I recently asked my mom about this, and I was like, "Why do they have basements?" And do you know? Because this is very California thing. Because I was
why
like,
people have basements?
Yeah, like in other places.
Why not?
Well, no, it's because when you have like the ice, you have to build below the frost line, or the house isn't as stable. Like in places that get snow, and that's why you have basements. And so they build below it, and then I guess. My mom was an architect, and so she was explaining. I might be not explaining this well, but she was basically saying like, "Oh, well, if you're already building that way, a lot of people tend to build basements as well."
Yeah,
it's a very common thing. We don't have those in California because earthquakes.
Have you been in one?
Well, actually, no. I don't know if it's because of earthquakes necessarily, but it's also very expensive. And if you don't have to do it, most people don't tend to do it.
It is very expensive.
Yeah, and because we don't really get snow in most parts of Southern California. And unless you're in the mountains, most parts of California, we don't do that.
But basements are cool though.
I know. I always wanted a basement. I always saw them in they have them in most. What's like a show with a basement? Like That 70s Show has a basement. Good Luck Charlie had a basement. I was jealous.
I did have one.
I also really wanted an attic. Also didn't have an attic.
Ooh, attic, yeah.
But let's read this other edit. I didn't expect this to get as much attention as it did, and I have read each comment and taken advice. So thank you. I'm fully aware that my parents are adults and can do what they want. I never once said that they couldn't, and I never said I wasn't against the relationship with this other couple. They refer to themselves as swingers, but yes, you could say that they are in a polyamorous relationship. The issue I have is how they shove it down everyone's throats. I don't care what they do in private behind closed doors, but once I see the PDA and the other things they do to each other when other people are around, that's where I get uncomfortable around the situation. They have a calendar on the fridge that says what nights they will swap beds and sleep with the other person. Example, my mom and the other woman move between my dad and the other guy. There are also times where they make sexual jokes about screwing each other or randomly flash each other when we are around. Like, at least wait until people aren't there to do those things. That's the part I'm not okay with. These parents just aren't parenting.
They're wild.
Like, totally, there is no age limit to doing this type of stuff. Like, if that is your relationship, that's what you want to do, totally fine. But like, you have children, and also when people are around, don't be doing that, because that's just like, they didn't sign up for that.
No one wants to see Grandpa Groyle's butt.
No, that's weird.
Other parts.
That's weird. No, the
like
PDA, the
balls.
amount of PDA, like, I thought it was just kissing, but the amount of PDA that these couples are engaging in front of. Also, I feel like if I were the swingers, I would want to do anything to get. If I were the swingers, I would want to do anything to like get these children on my side. I'd be like, hey, like, we need to ease into it. Well, they're not trying very hard.
They gave themselves names.
Yeah, they were like, but I feel like they're like assuming that they're already on their side without having done any of the work.
That's a part of it. You have to already assume. You have to be like, oh, yeah, they like me.
They like me. They love me. The confidence is stunning.
They have a lot of confidence.
They do.
Also, the calendar.
Oh, I forgot I was going to mention that. That's so strange.
They're organized.
They're organized. Okay. If they weren't living in the house with their child, totally different story. Like organization on point. Love that for you. Like do whatever you need to do to make this relationship work for you. But having it like your child in the house, like make a Google calendar, share it.
Do that.
Don't put it on I would be so uncomfortable if my parents like, maybe this is just me. Tell me in the comments if you'd be comfortable with your parents doing this. I would be deeply uncomfortable.
Side note, would you like a calendar from us, from the OKOP?
This was my suggestion before
was
Riley
hers.
co-ops it.
It was hers. I forgot who it was. I thought it was John's.
Yeah, no, it was me. I don't know. Let me know if you would like a calendar from the boys.
Yeah, and Sophia.
We do a calendar with Chip. Chip is one of our roommates' golden retrievers.
Yeah. If you go see our merch, you can see a picture of Chip and me together with the hat. Dude, it looks so good.
That's a great picture. You look like you're in one of those movies, like one of those dog movies where you're a retired like army guy and you got this dog hoping that like you like rescued him. And you're like, I don't really need a dog, but you got court mandated therapy, and they're like, you need this dog, and slowly you come to love each other. That's what this picture is giving.
It's true. I would definitely do that with Chip.
Okay, let's get back to the story. Relevant comments. Dexter Styles says, your parents sound incredibly demanding and childish. I wouldn't go at all, point blank. Tell him. Your parents strike me as the type of people who do bad things, don't care about how anyone else feels, and cover it all by saying nonsense like, I'm just living my best life. This is so bizarre by so many degrees. OP replied, it is so bizarre. I truly love my parents, and I know it would hurt them if I tell them I'm not going, but it makes me so uncomfortable on so many levels to see them do things with another person. I think I'm just going to talk to them, and if they decide they're still taking them, I'll tell them I'm not going. Thank you for your comment. Captain Tack says, yeah, I'm all for alternative lifestyle, but you can't be doing that around your kids. Family time is for family, not for family plus F buddies.
Yeah.
OP replied, I'm all for supporting my parents as they have always been there for me, but like I've mentioned, I don't want to see every single thing they do. A kiss here and there is fine, but to make out or make sex jokes about what they want to do to each other in front of me is not cool. And that's where I draw the line. Thank you for your comment. That is yikes. That is big yikes. A herd of fluff says, if I were you, I'd invite them out to somewhere for coffee or lunch or whatever without their friends. Explain that I appreciate that they see me as an adult, that they were able to be honest about their relationship with the other couple. But with that being said, I'd hope that they can understand, though, how nobody wants to have their parents' sexual relationships on display in front of them. I'd tell them that I'm uncomfortable with this new couple and do not view them as family, regardless of the relationship they currently have with them. The upcoming trip was to be a family vacation, and in light of all that is going on, it is no longer something that would be a fun trip with my family, and I will no longer be joining them. Let them be upset. They've decided who they want to spend time with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The family,
Good advice.
even though they may see them as family,
Yeah, you can't.
it doesn't feel like
people,
family.
Exactly. You can't make other people. You can't force family on people. Like even if they were actual family, you can't force people to see people that you think.
No, that was a great quote.
Okay.
That was a great quote.
Okay, I thought you were like, what are you saying?
No. You can't force family.
You can't force family on people.
Yeah, that's like so deep.
Family is the injured dog that you found on the side of the road who wants to bite you, and you have to earn its trust before you can be family. Anywho,
Great
there's
metaphor,
an update.
yeah.
Metaphor. Hi, everyone. A few weeks ago, I made a post about my parents inviting their friends on a family vacation and said I'd give an update after I talked to my parents. Well, I did, and it didn't go well. Also, sorry the update took so long. I've been struggling with the outcome really badly, and I needed time to write it out all out. I'm so sorry, OP. This sucks.
What do you think happened?
I think the parents were like, I don't care what you think. We're in a relationship and you have to deal with it. And then they meant no contact.
No contact. I say low contact.
Low contact. Maybe no contact is going too far. Low contact. We'll see. So on to the update. I brought up all of my feelings to my parents and they weren't very happy. They asked why I never brought it up. And I told them that it was because I was fine with everything until I started seeing it. And that's when it made me uncomfortable. Now they think I don't accept them for who they are. And they don't really see an issue with inviting their friends or doing other things with their friends in front of everyone else around. My mom basically said that what they do is none of my business or anyone else's, and they can do what they want. Of course, it's not their business. Like, it's no one's business what you do on your own time, but don't like rub it in your child's face. Like that's especially like stuff with like sexual things. That's like weird to rub in your child's face.
Sex.
That's so weird. Stop it. Which is true. They're adults and can do what they want, but some of the things they do should be in private settings and not for others to see. They also consider their girlfriend and boyfriend to be family again, which is fine. I know many people do. And since it's a family vacation, they're still inviting them, regardless of how everyone feels about it. I just want to be with my parents for once without their friends being there and having them be all over each other. They also see no issue with their friends calling themselves grandparents to my niece. I got upset and told them my husband and I would not be attending the vacation and they could take someone else. And until they understand where I'm coming from, I would not be coming around. So over the time being, my parents are being cut off. I'm very sad about the outcome, and it makes me sad that they would choose their friends over their own child. But to each their own, I guess. Thank you all for the comments. I read every single one of them. Even if I didn't comment back, I still read them. There were some very nice supporting ones that really helped, and also some not very nice ones that also helped. So thank you all. And final comment from OP on her sister. Yes, my sister agrees with me. I'm not sure if she's planning on going or not. So if she doesn't, we might go on our own little vacation.
Oh, that actually sounds like a
That'd be
vibe.
nice. Yeah. Yeah. The sister and OP and maybe their partners. Or maybe it's just them. A little sister and OP trip.
Oh, and then like the fiance and then her husband.
Yeah.
Then they get
And the
to hang
baby.
out.
No, the baby's not there
And
yet.
the baby. What? Oh, it's just the sisters?
Well, the baby's like in the belly. Baby's not been birthed.
Oh, baby's still not.
Oh, wait. No. You're right. No, wait.
That last story, baby wasn't here yet.
So I think
story,
this,
baby's here.
baby exists. Yes. No, I think it seems like the parents are being a little
Immature.
very immature. Yeah. Which really sucks because it doesn't seem like OP is against the relationship. It just seems like the way that the parents are going about, about it is not good and making people uncomfortable.
And also, I think like the parents are doing this because they want to feel a little bit more young and youthful.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they like their relationship. It's just they're not going about it. Like you have to be respectful of other people, especially your children, especially when you're bringing in outside relationships, because that's like a big thing for like a child to deal with.
That's
Even
true.
no matter how old they are. And it doesn't seem like there's, I don't know, how old is OP?
OP is NA
Okay. But they found out about this right after high school, which is pretty,
in 2016. So we can calculate.
we
how old
can
they are.
calculate it.
I just did the
Calculate
thing.
that.
Actually,
math.
don't do the thing. It's later in the episode. Not helpful at all. 2016. They're
7 years?
18.
Oh, wait, no, it's 20. Yeah. 7 to 8 years, depending on when in 2016, right?
So figured out in 2016 when they graduated. So let's just say they're 18 in 2016. And now the year is 2024. Add for like 26.
Yeah.
And the younger sister is probably like 23, 22.
Yeah. She have a baby. Wow. Or she had a baby. Yeah. And like, I don't know. It's old enough to be like, you kind of have to get over whatever relationship stuff is going on with your parents. But I don't think it's any, like, I just think PDA is when sometimes it can go a little far.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be respectful
Especially when
of other
you're
people.
flashing each other.
That's weird. That specifically, like that's too far.
Only flash like, actually, I don't really flash people.
I've never flashed
People
anyone.
flash me.
Oh, what's going on?
It's like my
Yeah.
guy friends. They'll just like throw their ass
Okay.
in a window. That's happened twice from the same friend.
Well then.
Anyways, here's my
You have
okay
an
story
okay
time.
story time on your brother in a drawer.
So like some people put their babies. Let me know if you've ever put your baby in a closet or like where do you put your baby when you have it? Let me know.
I would think they're a little cot, but maybe that's just
Like its own little house.
yeah, like the what's it called?
I don't
the crib.
know.
The crib.
Oh yeah, they put them in. Yeah. But where is that crib located?
I don't know.
That's the question I want to know.
Yeah.
Not that I'm weird. I just am curious.
Where's your crib?
Where's your
Tell
crib?
us.
Because my
Yeah.
parents will put it in the closet or in their retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And one time my parents went on vacation and I think they had a crib, but like my brother at the time, this is one of my little brothers, were small enough to fit in the drawer. So they like made it really comfy and just took the drawer out of the drawer. And
Oh, like on vacation, so they didn't have the crib with them.
yeah, and then they just like, I don't know where they put the drawer, but they just had him in there just hanging out. And he seemed fine. But
Okay, I was picturing you put a baby in a drawer and then
I think they may have just to see if it worked.
Oh, okay, just
But then
for
they were
fun.
like, oh, that's funny. And then they took him out.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments if your parents are swingers. Let us know how that makes you feel.
And call us and we'll
Call us
call you
if your
back.
parents are swingers. there. That's where you can call. And let us know about your parents' relationships.
If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
see
see
you
you tomorrow.
tomorrow.